A fight for the right to be number one. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a battle of the top two teams in the AFC West, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. Leading the charge is A.J. McCarron, the 6'3" quarterback from Alabama.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now the first carry from Marshawn Lynch. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Working from the gun here, McCarron. He finds Roberts, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
On second down, Lynch. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Coming up with 2 straight Pro Bowls is Casey Hayward, who entered the league, and many saw him as strictly a nickel cornerback, but he can do everything. Play inside, play outside. 7 interceptions he had, led the league in 2016, added 4 more in 2017, with 22 passes broken up, which led the AFC.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Let's go! Blue Lightning! Blue Lightning!
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for...
And his first carry, he loses the football. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39!
From the gun, it's McCarron. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
319.
And they'll run it here. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 3 catches, 59 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And now it's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Smith now to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On the handoff, Lynch. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Smith. Eluding the pressure right. And it's complete. Henry. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number 1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers. Now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. They go play action here on first down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A nice gain of 21 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Right back to him on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw is Smith. And his throw here is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think no more. They slapped the double coverage on him. Made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now Smith. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And McCarron will try again on second. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bryant. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Throwing now is McCarron. They'll set up the screen to Lynch. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Again, they'll throw it with A.J. McCarron. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They went zone blitz there, obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes
and he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks?
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing is Smith. Finds his target. It's Gates. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
Here's Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll get it up the middle. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Flush to his right. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Joey Bosa in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. On second down, here's McCarron. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, but when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Oh, now he bowls him over. A solid stiff arm.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On second down, here's Smith. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Here's Marquette King now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Jordy Nelson now trotting back out there on offense. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried, because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Shotgun snap for McCarron. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
All right, now look at 56.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Gino on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. So we have and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they'll go on the ground. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't
That's caught inside the 20. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they'll run it here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. So give him the first down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off.
Yeah, on 4th and inches, you've got to be quick with your decision-making when you're running the football. You've got to find the hole and go. And he does a nice job here picking up the first down with a few yards to spare.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Now it's Smith. And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They snap it to Smith. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
He's got daylight. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Johnny Holden, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Gets around him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Smith. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Justin Ellis with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Smith. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, LA. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now here's McCarron on 3rd. It's caught. Nelson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nelson's first catch. Good for a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away.
Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Here we go. Green 39.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. Roberts with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Working from the gun here, McCarron. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Joey Bosa. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. McCarron following the sack. He leads his guys up on 3rd and long. A.J. McCarron looking to throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Running for it. Here's Lynch. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing now is Gino. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
McCarron to throw on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Martin. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now McCarron, he's got to have this one. And this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On the run, this is Jackson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Charger 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. on third down. Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes.